Hi, this is Lauren Hanks, proud owner of Aggressive Credit Repair for 19 years, coming at you with a credit tip. Every month, I send out a newsletter to thousands of people. It's super popular, and I like to add a video, which is what you're watching now, talking about my perspective on what you're reading to give you a little more clarity and context as to the tip that I'm providing. And this month, we're talking about fix your own credit. I've made iterations of this in the past. Today, I was thinking about it and rounded it down to 6 essential steps. The first 5, I'm going to admit, common sense. But coming from a pro, these common sense tips may hit you in a way that you haven't heard before. And hopefully you receive it in a way giving it more weight, because these things are super important. And stay tuned for the 6th tip, managing your credit age. It is actually the only way to get to 800 and never talked about. So a little treat at the end there. And that is by virtue of my over 20 years experience helping people with credit. Thousands of people I have helped. So stick around for that. First thing you need to do when fixing your credit, obviously, is to get yourself a credit report. A free one. Annualcreditreport.com provides a free report from all 3 bureaus, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, but it does not come with a score. So if you want to know your score, which everyone does, don't go there. Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, you can go to each of their sites and probably get a free score and report individually. Your bank probably offers one. I would say the most popular is Credit Karma. The downside to that, it only uses Equifax and TransUnion. And then I have people always tell me, but Credit Karma, it's not real. It's real, and it's real scores. The real truth about scores is if FICO has over 28 versions, changes all the time. Maybe even as of this writing, my impression is I think they have 28. What's the real score? Well, that depends on the day that you go to either the car dealership or the mortgage company. Whatever score they're using that day for you, that's your real score. So it's good to have an impression of all of those. My favorite location to obtain a credit score is this service here, Identity IQ. And this is an affiliate link. So if you use it, you get a couple things. You get a discount for a fancy package. And I give anybody that asks me free advice. I will look at your credit for free. If you contact me and say, Lauren, I've purchased that report through your link, I will send you a video of me going over your report for free. I love making them. I make many every single day. I'm very good at it. It's how I spend a good portion of my day. No skin off my back to do that for you. So keep that in mind. Also comes with $1 million identity theft insurance. Once you have your credit report, you need to dispute things that are wrong, or maybe things that you aren't sure are yours. The Fair Credit Reporting Act will let you dispute anything. You want to dispute anything you want because you don't believe it's complete, or if it's inaccurate, or you just flat out don't know what it is incumbent of you to make sure that that data that these bureaus are holding on you is accurate. So trust me when I tell you, it's advantageous of you to dispute things that you're not familiar with or think are inaccurate or fraudulent. If it is something that is yours and you don't remember that it was yours, it's still okay to dispute it if you don't remember. It's if only for the sake that they verify the accuracy of that account. And I suggest not doing it through the online portals. That's another video, but it is still a good place to do it because it's quick and easy. The way that I do it through my program and how I suggest everybody to do it is to write a letter and certify that letter. You can go to the FTC's website. They have a free dispute letter that's great, and that'll work just fine. Now we're getting into the things that are less common sense. Settling past due debts. For my credit repair program, I don't even allow people in the program unless they're willing to settle past due debts. The prerequisite is this: you must have the desire and ability to settle past due debts. Why? Because helping people with credit for over 20 years, I've learned that the one true ingredient in fixing credit is that you have the desire and ability to settle past due debts. I won't go into the nuances of that except for the most important pivotal thing, which is if you don't, you can be sued for those debts. In fact, a lot of creditors will deny you no matter how high your scores are because of that very reason. First, you'll get a judgment that can turn into a garnishment, which will compromise your ability to pay back your mortgage or whatever fancy loan you're going to get. Believe me, they will bring unpaid past due debts up. The only exception, medical. They're not always, people look at medical debt differently than they do, collections and charge-offs from credit cards and say, judgments and tax liens are equally important in that respect. Those things need to be taken care of, because if you don't, they're just going to wind up haunting you later. I can't emphasize this enough. You may think your scores are amazing with your 750, and even though you still have an old, 5-year-old charge off from Capital One, believe me, the fancy credit that you want to get, like a mortgage, they're going to give you what's called a conditional approval. They will not approve you even with your 750. They'll say, well, we will, but you've got to pay that. Just trust me, pay it, save the possible problems down the road. Next, pay on time. Another obvious thing. But what is not obvious is the devastation that your scores will receive the second you have a new late payment. I have an 820 score. I make a late payment, I lose 100 points overnight. Another late payment after that, and it's very quickly in the 500s. Your scores in infractions are actually judged by how old they are. So as you make new late payments, it may as well be like filing bankruptcy. Not kidding about that. You'll rebound more quickly after a late payment if you've got previous positive history, but just can't emphasize enough the importance of paying on time. And guess what? The Achilles heel for credit repair companies is getting late payments removed. Even I know some tricks, but a lot of times you just flat out were late. It may not come off. Next thing, another common sense, lower your credit card utilization. Credit cards can have over 200-point impact on your scores. For the average person, it's much less than that, but believe me when I tell you, in addition to suffering from chasing debt the rest of your life and appreciating interest rates, it's just good practice to keep those balances low. And later they'll give you an increased credit limit, and then you get better, fancier cards as time goes on with lesser interest rates. So this is common sense. Keep those credit card balances low. They can have a massive effect on your scores. All right. Grand finale, manage your credit age. Here's an acronym I want you to remember: average length of open account history. This is what your total score is made of. How does somebody get to 800? How do you think you get to 800? Having a billion accounts? It's not how it works. I build an 800 score with only 3 accounts, 2 credit cards and a mortgage. How did I do it with only 3 accounts? You probably have 3 accounts, but your score is not 800 by virtue of time. The longer accounts have been open, the more points you have. And that's really, I'm not looking at the algorithm that makes up the score in front of me here, and I haven't seen it, but I can only guess the number one first thing that goes into that calculation is your credit age. And then you can deduct things like infractions and credit card utilization. And if you want my opinion on a short explanation of the algorithm that makes up the score, it's like this: credit age minus infraction age, total infractions, and then minus credit card utilization. So my point, the longer you had accounts open, the better. And this is the fun, interesting nuance of that rule. As you open up new accounts, you shorten your average length of open account history, thus compromising your ALOA. I see people that are stuck at a certain score threshold, and they'll contact me going, I need to get over 600. How do I do it? Should I get a new card? And the answer is often, not only should you not get a new card, you should close the other 3 you just opened because you thought it was going to help you, and actually your scores went down, which generally triggers people to contact me. They think they're doing something that's going to help their credit. It hurts their credit. They're super confused. They reach out to Lauren. If you already have credit cards open and they've been open a while, good job. Keep them open for the rest of your life. Simple as that. Car loans, auto loans, mortgages, they come and go, and they're not as important to building your credit over the long term as a revolving account is. A credit card called revolving for that reason. It can stay open forever. So conversely, if you do not have a credit card or something that can last a long years and years and years, get one. Start building up that ALOA. This concludes my list. Thank you. If you made it this long through, I very much appreciate you. If you have any questions, you scroll down on this list and you can see that here's an older video that I'm going to wipe away here because I've changed it to 6 steps, but you can see some ways to contact me, and I really wish you would reach out. That's why I make these videos. Number one, I do it because I like doing it, and I want you to use this information for your benefit, okay, out of the goodness of my heart. But also as a business person, I want you to reach out to me, even if it's just to get free advice. I'm happy to do it, and you can contact me through this channel. You can go to my website, aggressivecreditrepair.com. You can call me at 801-298-3460 or even text that number. Either way, thanks for watching, and I look forward to hearing from you. Bye-bye.